Good evening, guys. I'm gonna wait for some people to get in here, and then we're gonna talk about weird or like odd jobs that like people have had past and present. I think there's like a good amount of both. Um, Tonight's probably gonna be a shorter stream, just because my head is hurting and I'm not really feeling the greatest. But we're definitely gonna at least have a stream. Just gonna wait until a couple more people get in here. Is everybody looking forward to Christmas? I love Christmas. I cannot wait. Christmas is awesome. We have snow on the ground finally. Super exciting. All right, so weird jobs, past or present, plus like a couple that are starting to become a little bit obsolete, just because of technology and things like that. So, I mean, some jobs are gonna start to become much less for humans, I guess. So, the first one is a past and a present job, and that's a professional mourner. So it's like someone who gets paid to go around and professionally mourn at like funerals or different things like that. And apparently, it's still a pretty it's not just a past job. Apparently, people still do it today. I'm not sure exactly. Like, I don't know. That one is kind of, I don't know. There's one from the past, which I'm guessing is like sort of what started pest control, but it was the job title was called a rat catcher, and they would basically catch rats for the purposes of pest control, but also for like testing to see what diseases they were carrying and all of that stuff. I'm guessing like this job's probably started around the plague and whatnot, but their entire job was to just go around catching rats. Like, that would definitely not be a job for me. I do not like mice. I do not like rats. That would not be okay for me. I know some of you weren't here in the beginning, but my head is like not the greatest, and I really have a headache. So we're gonna keep tonight's stream a little on the shorter side, just because I'm not feeling the greatest. A knocker up. So this does not even like remotely sound like the job title, but this person would go around and knock on people's windows to wake them up. Kind of like a precursor, I'm guessing, to the alarm clock. I probably would have come up with a different name, but it is what it is, I guess. They're in the present day, they have a job for a dog food taster. Definitely not a job for me. But then my question goes to, is that like kibbles or like what dog food? Like a dog food taster? I've smelled wet dog food. I don't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. In the past, they had a job called a fuller, Fuller, and that person was literally just responsible for washing laundry. Which I think that even kind of goes into today. Like, you have fold and washes and things like that, dry cleaners. So that's kind of more like a past and a present job. Current day, they have professional cuddlers. So like it's someone that you hire to come cuddle with you, which I don't know that I could do that, but I'm sure that like people who are lonely would definitely hire someone like that, but I don't know that I could. Um, Present day, there's a job for an iceberg mover. So they literally just go out into the ocean and move icebergs. And they get paid a pretty good amount of money to do that. Um, I didn't even know that was a thing, but it makes sense to go move them for ships and stuff to pass through. Um, hang on one second. Mocha, come here. Mocha, come here. Present day, there's jobs for ice rink hand holders. So, like people who are learning how to ice skate and whatnot have someone who will professionally hold their hand while they're ice skating. Some of these are like, I didn't even know were actual jobs. Like, I didn't know that people did these things. Like, there was one for underwater welding. Like, I didn't put that on my list, but I didn't even know like you could do that. Like, how do you weld underwater? Like, isn't welding like fire? Like, how does that work? Now that one just has me curious. They're definitely different jobs, that's for sure. But they do make really good money. The underwater welders, they definitely make really good money. But the curiosity goes to, if welding is done with like heating and water stops heat, like how does it work? But they do make really good money. Yes, they do. Um, an animal colorist. So this person is literally a hairdresser for dogs or cats or animals being used in TV shows, commercials, whatever, and they literally just dye. You know, like if you've ever seen like pink poodles, that's what they do. They literally just dye fur. That job I think would be kind of cool. The next job I could totally see either one of my boys doing, and it's a present day job, and it's a water slide tester. So these people just slide on water slides all day. Like, I could totally do that. That would be fun. As long as the water was warm. I don't do cold water. But it would be fun. In the present day, they have line standers. So like it's a person who gets paid to hold your place in line. I'm guessing for like maybe Black Friday deals or big sales or a new shoe coming out or a new iPhone coming out, like whatever. They just hold your place in line. They get paid pretty good money too. In the past, they had a person called a lamp lighter. So, like, you know, previous to electricity, they would light lamps on the street. And this person's job was to go light them and then to extinguish them at a later time. Which, I mean, I think it's kind of cool to look back on the past and think about how they used to, because we're so used to flipping a light switch and we have a light. but someone actually had to go light the streets at night. Like, it's interesting, I think. I don't know if they were like, I don't know how they were made. Like, I don't know if it was some sort of gas that they were using or like, I don't know. But I found it interesting because I like history. Um, Previously in the past, they had someone called a lector, and I'm guessing that this might be something where, you know, teachers and professors and stuff come in, but this person's job was to literally just read the news to factory workers. So factory workers would be there like early in the morning, and this person would get a newspaper for the day and read all the news to the people as they were working. Which I'm kind of wondering if that has something to do with like where teachers and professors came from. I don't know. I guess the word lector kind of made me, you know, like lectures. That'd be something interesting to do some research on. I'm trying to like go kind of slow, but also get through these because my head is really pounding. Um, in the past, they had someone called an ice cutter, and their entire job was to collect surface ice from lakes and rivers and then deliver them like these big chunks to people called icemen who would then deliver ice to businesses and or residences because that was prior to ice makers. Yeah, they didn't have a fridge with an ice maker. Which I think is kind of interesting in and of itself that you would just take it from. But then that makes me curious, like what did you do in the summertime to get ice? Because that's when you really want ice. Except for me, I eat ice all year round. Everybody is fully aware of the town crier, but they called a refrigerator an icebox. Yeah. Um, in the past, they had the town crier, which would like, you know, go around making public announcements. Um, I'm sure a lot of people are fully aware of that one. Um, Now there's so much like everything's available on the internet that you don't. I mean, half the time people don't even get newspapers anymore. You can pull up the news on the internet. Um, I tried to look up a couple of jobs that were like weird or odd that were outside of the US. And the only one I really found was in Japan, and they have what's called train pushers. Basically, it's someone who stands on the platform while the train is there and they push people into the train so the doors can close, like during rush hour and stuff. I I think, vaguely recall seeing them in like movies or different things. Um, I thought maybe it was just a movie thing, but apparently it's a legitimate thing. Person read the paper to the factory workers because they probably couldn't read. That's also an interesting yes. That could definitely be another reason why. I never thought about the concept of people. I mean, education and people reading is such a normalcy now that you don't remember that there was a time where education was actually a luxury. I never thought about that. That is interesting. Is that what you found doing research, or is that like a thing that you think might be a possibility? Because I didn't find a reason. Yeah, a lot of kids did go to work instead of going to school. And those who did go to school probably only went till 12 or 13 and then went into the work. Some of them were even younger. So, what do you all think are some jobs that are becoming obsolete? Because I only have 3 that are definitely becoming obsolete, but if you had to guess sometime in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, like what jobs do you think will become like obsolete? I have 3. Um, Interesting. Yeah, I didn't find a reason for why the person would read the news to like the factory workers, but that totally makes sense. So the jobs that I have that are becoming obsolete are bank tellers, like that's one because everybody's doing online banking and online payments and you know most of your most people I mean don't even go into a bank. Thing one works and his paychecks are deposited onto a card and then from there he doesn't even have a bank account. Does he need one? Yes. Does he have one? No. But because everybody's switching to online banking and technology, um, bank tellers are becoming an obsolete job. Um, Cashiers are becoming obsolete. Yeah, because of self checkouts and automated things. And I mean, a very large store now offers pickups and deliveries. And it's not just the large one, a lot of them are starting to do it. Um, and those payments are done online. So cashiers are definitely becoming obsolete. And assembly line workers are becoming obsolete because everything is automated. You got like the automated stuff that pushes everything through. I'm trying to think like without looking anything up, like what I think as far as jobs that will become obsolete. I'm curious if things like fast food restaurants won't start to become obsolete between not needing the cashiers because some fast food restaurants are now doing like the screens where you can order your food and stuff, but wondering if they won't figure out a way to automate putting things together in a way that you won't need a lot of people. It'd be interesting to see in 5, 10, 15, 20 years what jobs have become less run by people and more run by automation or computers, technology. I mean, I've even seen like some operations are being, I don't want to say robotically done because that's not, they're still being controlled by a doctor, but like you've seen the laparoscopic things. Yeah, I don't know that I'd want a machine to cook my food either, but I mean, everything is becoming so automated and so technology driven that it makes you wonder if that's not something that will eventually become a become a obsolete job. But doctors are using like mechanics to do surgeries and stuff. Like my nephew had his gallbladder removed and the doctor did it laparoscopically and with, it's interesting. Doctors still control these things. Like we're not talking about like, you know, but it also makes me curious when you go back to like cartoon shows like the Jetsons that was supposed to be futuristic, like what they would think or see of things that we've done so far. I mean, everything is done through your phone though. Like literally, you can bank on your phone, you can get the news on your phone, you got calculators on your phone, you can message people on your phone, you can email from your like everything is literally. No, I don't either. I don't either. but everything's becoming so technology driven. I mean, like even schools are becoming more technology. I mean, and I remember when I was a kid having a snow day. Now they just virtually learn. You know, if they're going to be longer than, what is it, like 2 or 3 days? Like if you had a big snowstorm and it's going to be longer than 2 or 3 days, you just move to virtual. Yeah. Some technology and some automation is cool. Like the vacuum robots and things. I don't know that I would want one, but the vacuum robots are kind of cool. Um, and then some of it is also like you said, you don't really want a machine to cook your food because what if the machine fails or doesn't get hot enough or whatever the case may be. It has its pros. Everything has its pros and cons. Everything. It will be interesting to see what the future holds as far as different things and jobs and things like that. It'll be interesting. Some school systems are going back to textbooks and paper, getting rid of the computer because kids aren't learning as well. I tend to be more of a textbook and paper type of person. Um, but I think like this generation, they definitely, well, I won't say all of them, but some of them learn better virtually. I'm definitely paper and pencil. I guess it depends on the person too, though. Like some people are much better at paper and pencil, and sorry, some people are better at computers. I'm lucky sometimes to turn my phone on or be able to do anything with it. She's so mouthy. Oh, she's mouthy. She's super mouthy. Being a teacher, do you think it's better textbook and paper, or do you think it's easier? Okay, despite the cheating thing, in your experience, do they learn better with textbooks and paper, or do they learn better with the computers? Because you do this like every day. I used to cheat too with paper and pencil because some of our textbooks, especially the math ones, um, if you went to the back of the book, they had every other answer on there. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure, don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure it was the odd answers. You think they learn better with paper? I know that I did, but I also grew up right when technology started really booming. We didn't have computers in our classrooms, and we had a computer lab, but it was more for typing class or whatever. Used paper most of the time. Yeah, I think it also depends on the class. Like for math, it's paper and I mean you need paper and pencil for math. You do. Um, but history, the computer could be a benefit with all the technology or with all the information available online. Um, I guess it depends on the class too. Just out of curiosity, with all the technology and going virtual for snow days and things like that, do you think that at any point education would go virtual? Or do you think that will always be an in person, face to face type of job? Because I'm kind of in my head thinking that could go either way. Face to face. I think the younger kids, what I'm going to call, 5 years prior to COVID and 5 years after COVID, like those kids, some of them only knew school virtually. There was a good 2 or 3 years there where, some schools were open, but some weren't. And those kids started off school doing the whole virtual route. I know taking classes online, I was able to, it is difficult. I would imagine that it would be. When I took online college classes, I found that easier than being face to face. But when thing one went virtual, he struggled. So I think it's also a person to person thing. Some people do better online, and he did not. I think it depends on the kid and their level of being able to stay focused on their own. He is not one that can stay focused on his own. They do need, the structure. Yeah. What other jobs do you think will become obsolete? Or maybe need less workers? Because I'm kind of like sitting here going through my head, like trying to think of some. Gas station attendants for sure. Does that even still, is that even still a thing? Like gas station attendants? They used to, yeah. I haven't seen a gas station like that 20 some years, probably. Um, so according to whatever this is, cashiers, data entry clerks, telemarketers, which data entry clerks, I mean, I would think you'd still need those. I mean, that would be my guess. Telemarketers, fast food workers, administrative assistants, and some drivers like postal workers. How would a postal worker job become obsolete? I mean, I get that like your bills and stuff are online, but some people still write letters, Christmas cards. Telemarketers can definitely do that. There really isn't a whole lot of mailing, but I mean, some people still send Christmas cards and whatnot. Travel agents. I guess with different travel websites, travel agents are definitely probably going to become more obsolete. Yeah, I never did understand the whole point of telemarketers. even prior to the internet. I have company. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Can anybody explain to me why they dig like that? Like you just want them to lay down and all they do is dig. No, they're done digging. You need more what down there? Oh, post office employees? Is that what you were talking about? Yeah. I don't know. Our post office is pretty good. What do you think? Huh. Oh, I definitely think there's issues, but typically they're pretty good. All right, no more digging. Go girl. I think we're probably going to wrap this up soon because computer's starting to mess with my eyes and make my head worse. I'm not sure. Like, I really thought we were going to get some snow today because I have the headache and pizza delivery drivers. Yeah, that's probably a good one. And it kind of was cloudy outside, and I thought, well, maybe that's why I have a headache, but I have no idea. It definitely hurts. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do on Wednesday. I think we're either going to do like famous old sayings or something like that, where like they'll have to fill in the blank. It'll be interesting to see how many they know since a lot of them don't get used anymore. So it'll be interesting to see how many they get right. You know, like penny for your thoughts type of stuff. And then it'd be curious to see if they know what it means. I think it'll be fun though. All right, guys. The computer is hurting my eyeballs. But I will see you again on Wednesday. Good night.